Okay, so a few more words. First of all, God told me not to commence with the plan regarding Israel David, Shaul Ronen, Yossi Ben Moshe. And instead, I will do this. I will create a clay tombstone for the state of Israel, which is the main culprit of everything that happens to me. My initial thought was to create a symbolic microscopic slides with the neurons of these three men to symbolize whatever you want to understand, and so that the neurons will hopefully copy their names. This would have be beneficial both from scientific point of view, and I would say scientific hype, which is important. We all you people of the intelligence community, you don't need me to tell you that hype is important. Of course, not too much of it, not on the expense of genuine meaning. But it wasn't a good idea. Regarding Israel David, he's my father. That's about it. And God reminded me of this very simple fact. Regarding Shaul Ronen, God says that he's just, he's a pawn in the Israeli security system, and he will perish with all of them together soon enough. But I shouldn't use specific symbolism for him. Regarding Yossi Ben Moshe, I don't really know him. We haven't had, I didn't have the opportunity because my marriage with Inbal were quite short. Even though during the time that I was married to her and before that we were, in a relationship, I encouraged her all the time to go visit him, of course, with me, but I didn't really manage to know him, so it's not for me to deal with this person. But it is for me to create this symbol for the state of Israel. It will be the size of a very big, I think, Oreo cookie, like double or triple the radius of Oreo cookie. And the name Medinat Israel will be written in white, dirty white clay. And also I'll have the flag of Israel, but in very small dimensions, possibly something like that, just for comparison. Because, at the current state of my understanding and my ability to produce neurons and to activate them, they cannot replicate things that are far beyond the microscopic scale, which means they can go ultra microscopic, which means little above the microscopic, but not much more. And in any case, this is this is just, it's not just, it's important, but it's a symbol. So we don't need large amounts of work from the side of the neurons. Now, I want to address very important issue that I've spoken about a lot in the past. But again, this is a new stage with a lot of new audience. I mean, to say it, actually, by now it's just the same type of audience, lamentably, but I mean, still, I have great many, I mean, a lot of new people that are currently subscribed, you know what I mean, to this channel via the intelligence community. I mean, using the intelligence community, the way that, the specific ways that the intelligence community use, that doesn't really matter what, or how. So for them, I want to speak, I mean, very simply about a very important issue. Suppose the state of Israel is saying today, Lechu, go, just go. You and your daughters, just go. You are allowed to leave this place, to leave the jail, to leave the Nazi prison. So in that case, where will I go? So the answer is very, very simple, and the answer is Hong Kong, and in general, China. I mean, China and specifically Hong Kong. And the more important, I mean, the importance is on China. I mean, if Hong Kong wouldn't fit us, I mean, I'll find another place in China. It's not that I'm hooked about Hong Kong, but I do want to move to China. And I've spoken about it a lot in the past, but it's not the time and place to reiterate everything. Now, one last point for now. This is something that I've spoken about in the past, in all sorts of, I mean, in many styles. You know, I use different styles, and I never reached like a definitive conclusion because it wasn't needed. It wasn't really, I mean, it's not, I always felt that it's not part of my mission. And this is the subject of Iran. The state of Iran. I've spoken about the state and the relationship with Israel in many levels, mostly like semi-mythological and metaphorical ways. And really, I would repeat, it's not my place to say anything definitive about the state because I don't know it at all. I mean, lately, I mean, during the last years, I mean, the recent years, I've developed some affection to it just because of the fact that they seem to genuinely hate Israel, and as you know, I hate Israel as well, but it wasn't more than that. Well, it actually was more than that, but I can't go into my own personal mythology right now, even though I think that these are important issues. But it's not the time and place to reiterate everything. I will say the following. I understand that there is a good chance that part of my origin story is related very strongly to the modern country of Iran and to the ancient land of Paras, Persia, in English. I understand that. And as you remember, I've spoken in the past to some length about a kind of mythology that I developed regarding Sivan Kriegsman, that she actually came from Iran. But I know that she came from the United States, and I already spoken about it as well. So, and she can't come from both the United States and Iran. She came from the United States. So what was the issue with the Iranian connection of Sivan Kriegsman? I think that my listeners already know, if they followed me for enough time, that I use other people many times, not as like, I bow their image. Even, I mean, I barely remember how she looks like, Sivan Kriegsman. She's not that important. She was just, I mean, a vehicle, along with many other people, to present a mythology. And the real subject of the mythology, or the real, I would say, protagonist, was always the same one, and it is me. Like I live in a room full of mirrors, like Jimi Hendrix. All I can see was me. So yes, I used, and she's not the only one. I've done it many times. Maybe some of you remember. I build mythologies around other people, even though I just want to emphasize aspects of my own life. And sometimes I've even done that. I mean, I'm even doing it explicitly. The mythology, I don't want to get back to it now because it's not important. But the Iranian or the Persian mythology regarding Sivan, I mean, it's quite clear that it doesn't have any basis on fact of her own life, because she came from the United States. But it does shed some light on my own origin story. Now I want to say something that I've said many times in the past, and it's a very important point. I can't elaborate now, but it's important I will say it. My origin story is not important at all. Not for me, and it shouldn't be important for any of you. I do not place any emphasis on origin stories. And this is due to many reasons that I cannot reiterate now. It's not the place. But it's not important. And I'm sorry if I offend my Iranian listeners. I know that the Iranian intelligence listen to some of what I say. And I guess and also hope that they have, some kind of, affection towards me, or, pride. Because obviously for them, the origin story is more important than for me. But if they really listen to me for like a long time, they should understand that for me, origin stories are not important. I don't care where you found me, or what specific Indiana Jones, and I really like Indiana Jones, and I like archaeology, and I like popular archaeology and academic archaeology, but the specific Indiana Jones episode that was related to me coming into existence in Iran and then in Israel is really not important. Sorry to say that. It's not important. It's almost no importance at all. I will want eventually to visit Iran and to learn more about the country. I know almost nothing about them because in Israel they are like the enemy that no one speaks about, unfortunately. But it's an important culture and a very ancient one, and I know that for me, history is very important, and tradition. And although my thoughts specifically regarding prophecy is in some ways related to the Shia, and I've also spoken about it in the past. I don't know if you remember. So like I have some very shallow, but still I have some kind of intellectual links and religious links that connect me to the Shia, specifically inside the Islamic religion. So I'm sure that it will be very interesting to me, and perhaps even exciting to visit Iran and to learn more about the place, and perhaps perhaps there are people there that want to meet me and have information that they want to share, and this will be very exciting. But it's not of the utmost importance. What's important for me now is to leave Israel, to escape from this Nazi prison with my daughters, and to start new life in China. I want to start new life in Hong Kong, but the point is that it will be in China. It could be in other places in China as well. That's my wish, and I repeat it again and again. It's not going to change, and I just pray to God that it will happen better sooner than later, because life in Israel is just getting harder and harder and harder.